Hey everyone, whoa! I'm Pastor Michael, and this is Because Dating! Woo hoo hoo hoo! Yeah. First of all, I want to say welcome to 126 subscriber. Alright, now 126. 126. Wow. Awesome. Woohoo! Alright, now we're on to about singlet. Singlet. Yesterday I talked about what is single. You know, it means a person who's not married, who is divorced, separated. Yeah, they're not quite single. Not quite. They're still married legally until the paper says you can go ahead. But yeah, I'm sorry to those who are separated. Now today we'll talk about that part, because that's the next step if you're going to be divorced. If you've been married, get a divorce for some reason. Maybe abused, maybe because of there's two main reasons why people divorce. Financial, yep, money. The other is about consummation. I'll take a few samples, you can see why it has happened in real life. For those two main reasons. The third one is possibility abuse. Domestic violence. I'm throwing it in from domestic violence. I'm against that. That's what makes them very mysteriously for the spouse to disappear. Where are they? They're gone. Missing. It's truly a mystery. Some of them ended up on unsolved mystery. Or America Most Wanted. Because of a spouse may have done it. We don't know. But some of them have. Yeah, Unsolved Mystery is my favorite show. And it's on Netflix now, but I don't have Netflix. Oh, I want to see those. But it's very different Unsolved Mystery than the Unsolved Mystery that we used to like, the one back in the 80s. So anyway, separation means you're still legally married, but you're not living the married life. So you're stuck between two worlds. Married, single, or divorced. Right in the middle. Like hard of hearing. I'm hard of hearing and I'm deaf. But I talk very well. You can see that. You've been listening to all my 750 plus videos. Although, I can sign. Alright. You may notice that now I have something new. That is old, that doesn't work. This part is broken. You can see it turned because one of the prongs is broken off. It's cheap, flimsy. When I bought it yesterday, oh wow, it's a little different. It's a little bigger, but it's for table. It's much firm. It has all the metal. This is plastic. This part plastic. I can't get down where I want it to be. It wouldn't do it. Even if I loosen it up, it wouldn't come down further. This one can. I said, oh wow, perfect. And I can see that perfectly the way I want it to be. So, let's throw out. What? It's free. But that thing's broken. Not gonna work. So, let's go into the trash. South Carolina, you can throw it away. New York State is separately. Stupid. Anyway. I'm Pastor Marco. I've been doing this online dating seminar ever since August. Talk about dating relationship. Looking for your May dating site, engagement, wedding, and honeymoon. And some private one. That's it. I promise no more of that. Okay? That's because it's consummation. You understand now? Okay. Now, today I'm talking about separation. Separation is the period of time that your marriage is not going to work out. You legally separated. Sometimes you have to file that with your state that you're going to legally separate it. So that it can be legally separated, and some state requires you have to wait before you can file for divorce. Yeah. Someone to divorce right away. You're going to have to go to some certain state for that. Even, I'll tell you that, a very few states, I think I know 2 of them so far, but I think one's changed anyway. I can't find that. 2 states, you can legally file for divorce without your spouse permission. All the other states, you have to file jointly to become divorced. I'm not kidding. It's real. I had to go through that. She filed it. That's the time. Sent away. We did it all online. Divorce. But it took forever for that. But finally got all that paperwork behind me, ready to go anywhere I'm going to go when I get married to the next one. Lord knows. He might. And that's not going. Because that's broken. The light to work, but that thing, it's broken. I just show it to you. Alright. Separation is the period you have to adjust. You're in shock. For some people, yeah. They'll say, no, they're separated now. No. They'll make phone calls to you and all that. Yep, that's the way it is. For some people. Because sometimes some people will think, oh, your marriage is great. Yeah, okay. But they don't really realize it's not that great. For some. Maybe because of, like I said, that adultery is part of that stigma. Because adultery is very common today. The men cheat. Even just flirting with a woman. You're beautiful, but I'm married. Boom. The wife will divorce you. Because you said that. Oh yeah, they can do that. Oh yeah. Because you both did not make an agreement to draw a line. Draw a line that you're not to flirt. Because flirt is adultery. It says in the Bible, look upon a woman commit adultery. It says in Matthew chapter 18. That was the first, but it's right there. Look upon it's adultery. So bad. Back then in this country, we had a bigotry law. If you do adultery, you could be arrested and be in prison. Not anymore because they're all getting too liberal. But it can happen with President Trump. You never know. Who knows? that once you're in adultery, you're off to prison. Back then, a lot of people did. In colonial America, the Persian in Massachusetts, like in Salem, like the Salem witch trials, the stat called Persian, the Quakers, they the most threat Anabaptist of all Anabaptists, A-N-A Baptist. That was the main that was splitting up, like the Baptist today. Then there's Amish and Mennonite, Huntity, Shakers. Shakers gone before. The Quakers, the Shakers. I know you've seen them on the oatmeal, but that's named after, okay? But anyway, if you do adultery, you have the letter A on you, especially the women. And they get burned at the stake and everything. That's horrible. And then they passed law to change into prison. Now it's much flexible. But too many people today are separated and divorced too easily, like that. Here's the stat that I know throughout the year, the truth is the same. 85% of the death, not 85, 90%. 90% of the death who were married to Henry ended up in divorce. Military marriage to a civilian, or even other military, they divorce. 90%. You know why? The husband when talk well the wrong way. I'm okay. The husband, or even the wife, was in the military, experienced post-traumatic stress disorder, or they had spent time in wars, or they were in hostage, released back from the military, and they get a lot of fights and everything. But also a lot of when the military go overseas and the wife stays here because he's in the war zone, maybe somewhere in the Middle East. That when the wife so lonely she will have adultery. Let's see what else. But ironically, that's funny. Quite the opposite. Americans marry foreign women are more likely to stay married than American marry American. Matter of fact. Why? Because the women overseas tend to listen and do things for the husband. Cook. Respect. She cleans out. She was raised old-fashioned. Still today, in the 21st century. Still old-fashioned. One video today I saw, I like watching her video about the Philippines. And to teach people about it. This one about for future expats when living in the Philippines. Shoot up. She said that. When you go in the house, shoot up. I asked somebody just before I did the video. She said, yeah, shoot up. Second of all, clean the house. Very clean. That's very true. I know. I asked her before. Third, she said if she loved me, she would do anything to make me happy. I never heard an American woman would talk like that to me. Never. That's why international marriage. You're more likely to be distasteful. What else did he put down? Yeah. If a child is dying or died, likely the parents will divorce because they both don't know how to handle themselves. But before their spouse, because you see, when the person dies, it breaks their heart, cry, sad. I've seen them sometime on Facebook, like a couple days ago. This woman trying to look for her daughter that she went missing. She lost her job, money, everything. She was well established. But now she's dead broke because she's so depressed that her daughter went missing. So I think it's one of those unsolved mysteries on Facebook. Okay. See what I'm talking about here now? I've learned that from one of my first old pastor, the same one I went to America. He had a son, but when he was 10, the son had cancer on the thigh, and they didn't want treatment because they know it could live longer than chemotherapy, but by law for children, the government tells the state, tells the parents you can't have any right. So they go through all this pain, and then their son die. Who's to blame? They won't want to say the word government. That's why very few get smart, go to Mexico. Because I remember a pastor in Guatemala. He had cancer. He lived only by barley green grass. Said he only had 6 months left. He lived 3 more years before he died. He was a pretty older guy, 60-something. So, yeah. So you see, no chemotherapy. Alright? So, here you have to give up your child. The American government, I hope President Trump make it better. Anyway, so that's why many divorce, because they don't know how to handle themselves or support each other, or they blame each other. That's why that 90% divorce, because of a child's death. It's your fault. My child's dead. They don't say the word my, they don't say our. When you start to have babies, you're gonna say our. But after that, you're gonna say my. She's my, or he's my. It's your fault. That's why they're gonna go through that. That's why it's divorced. It's your fault. I'm done with you. Dad. So there's a lot of 90%. Another big one everybody looks up to. What? Celebrities. 90% of them divorce too. A lot of them get divorced. Very few are blessed to stay married to their death. Like Gene Hackman and his second wife. They both died with a week apart. It's almost like a notebook, but sad about theirs. It was bad. But a few do stay together to their death. That for some others don't. They say, fine, we're divorced. Now why? I'll tell you why. Now I know why. I experienced myself. Because I'm not just only doing YouTube, but I'm also sometimes actor. Oh yeah, to movie and stage. And the one I have had from the Philippines, she's a voice actress. Oh, there's some jealousy here. We had that in common, but there was jealousy because, you see, this is why there was some fighting going on. Not just about me, it's just about between her and another subscriber. I had to kick her out. It was getting bad. But anyway, when we did talk, hey, why you got so many, why you have those men following you? Because she said, why do you have all these women following? Now, that's the truth. I think I have more female subscribers than male, to be honest, really. It's not enough data to determine that when I look it up the dashboard. But I believe it is. I can tell. Username, things like that. So jealousy is one other thing why many divorced. But yeah, like I said, separation is the period of time between you have been married together, lived together, same address, Mr. and Miss, all that. That period, separation, she cannot change her name yet. So after the divorce, she can change back to become Met, M-Et, not Mit, not M-R-I, Mit. Like my mom, when separated, she was stuck with that same last name, but right after the divorce finished, she changed her name from married name to her maiden name. Her father was well-known attorney in New York and worked with the mayor. She was the mayor. Yep, he was. An attorney and president of our family business a long time ago. It's no longer. That's the family building, downtown Syracuse. The landmark, famous. Okay. But the reason for that, because it was a very better separation and divorce. During that time, I've seen how bad it is with that separation. That same year, the filing divorce got over with, rather than keep fighting in court. Yeah, you're gonna have some physical confrontation, like with remember visitation. I stayed with my father for 1 weekend with my brother. My sister and my mom wanted to come in. I remember, I can hear squabble. And I was about to see, I could see my father trying to hold them out. Then, all of a sudden, it's all quiet. Then, it was pretty quick. They probably asked somebody to call the police to come. The police came. Then had to get my brother and I to leave. My father said, you gotta go. Okay. got our bags and stuff. We left. We went to the police department to front Bali. That was that same year. I think it was June, before the divorce was filed that month. That's it. They fought 5 years in court during that time. They separated. So it's not easy. For some people, it could be better. Some are just incredible different. It's best when you file for divorce, use that. Because then, wash your hands up like that. The court, separate divorce, okay, check up. Now, it's for domestic violence. You can file for divorce quickly. Some states do allow faster than the others. That's for your own protection. Okay? Some even ran away. Yep, ran away. Especially with children. That's very common back in the 80s. With a woman named Jaeger. She had an organization called Children on the Ground. Sneakily, all the mothers and babies, the children out, abused out, until a lawsuit. Don't want to do it anymore. So that lawsuit would drop. It was from that same man who invented the ATM. Yep. So Jaeger said, no more. I'm sure that some people actually still do. But it's still the law saying you're kidnapped. Please do not do that. If you believe your spouse abusing, stick for legal. Now just on the police, get a lawyer right away. Lawyer. Why? You want to get legally leave the house. Legally. You have to do it with a lawyer. Legally. Then go someplace. It's a shelter. They normally don't tell you where. Each city may have a woman's shelter, all secret. I remember in Colombia they did this one secret. She told me that. Yeah, I walk by, I see her every day outside. Then she told me all about it. Then did the other one in Syracuse, secret. Right in there, because I remember a case with a deaf woman that I went to school with. I saw her on the news and everything. She went in that place, secret. So that's what separation's all about. Transition from being married to the divorce legally. That's a legal term. I mean, you're in process of getting divorced. I have to warn you all, you're still legally married. Don't go on a date if you are separated. Don't go look for someone else like that during separation, because then when you're in court, hey, she cheated. I want to try to work things out. She cheated while we're separated. She made things work. You gotta be careful. You don't want that thing like that. Alright, 30 minutes. That talks too long. Sorry. So you see now what separation's all about? Okay, and divorce. Now that's done. Tomorrow we'll talk about something else. Now you want to look for somebody that's after you finish your divorce, your paper, then go. But if you haven't been married, you want to look for somebody, right? I'll help you, and you can help me. Whoa! God bless.